Hi everybody, here's microtonal video number 2. In our first video we did the basics. We talked about plus 2 cents, minus 14, and minus 31. And I wanted to say a quick thing that if you don't like that drone, or even if you do like that drone, there's a really cool piece by James Tenney that makes it even easier to hear these things. It's on the handout. It's this piece, septet. Let me just show you the score, because what you can see, it looks like a normal score, but if you look at the beginning of it, you can see that the second part is 14 cents flat. Where have I heard that? The sixth part is 31 cents flat, and the third part is 49 cents flat, which is the tritone that exists in the harmonic series. So do listen to that. It's linked. It's on the Spotify playlist, and that's equally good to sing along with, because boy, is that completely normalized then. Yay! So what we're going to do now, along the lines of more things to practice and how to practice, is we are going to do quarter tones, which is plus or minus 50 cent. And there's a couple exercises. First of all, whoops, not that page. How about this page? Yay! There's a couple things to this. One, you got to realize that quarter tones are just completely artificial, and they're largely off the harmonic series. It just gives a sort of consistency that people have been able to write music, and you'll see a lot of pieces with notation like this, and I'll explain it. It's also something that is possible. So it's like modus novus. In and of itself, it's a useless skill, but getting to the point where you can sing this, and sing this, and sing this, and yes, sing this, is really great. Just getting to that point will really, really sharpen your ears. So let's begin. Here we go. Hey, I bet you that was another one of my computer things telling me something, but I'm going to ignore it. Okay, so let's start. How on earth do you sing quarter tones? Well, the best way I think to do it, and this is going to sound funny, is actually just guess. Here's a D, here's a D sharp, here's the D, here's the D sharp. And I want you to sing numbers. Just go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, and onwards and onwards and onwards until you get some consistency. In other words, I've found that the best way to do this is just literally guess. Guess it's what is in between a D and a D sharp. And then as you go up and on your way down and up on your way down, hopefully you'll notice that these notes will be the same. And then a true test of this is to stop on the middle note, which might not exist on your keyboard unless you have a very special keyboard. Sing this and then alternately play the notes that are around it while sustaining this, and you'll hear the exact same thing that you just did. Ready? Let's try it. Here's a note, so I'm just going to kind of guess. I'm going to go 1, 2, that's weird, 3, so maybe it's a little low, but I'm not going to care. I'm going to go fast, because going quick is easier because it allows you to make these kind of judgments. So ready? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, it's pretty good. It's no fair. I've practiced it. Now I'm going to try to stop on 2 and play this. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. It's hard to hold, but that was kind of approximate. And again, I'm not after spectrographic perfection. I really want you to hear that this is a quarter tone from this and a quarter tone from that. And then once you can master this on one step, then just add another step. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So now we're going all the way up to here, and look how enormous it is. Let's try that. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. And notice I'm doing at that speed. It's easier than if you try to go 1, 2, 3. And you see what I was doing? This quarter tone was kind of anchored to this note, and this quarter tone was anchored to this. One reason why I love singing numbers or syllables is it forces you to change the pitch. Instead of just going la la la, la, you just get lost. Look, I've been practicing these before, and it might not be quite as facile or easy for you, but don't worry, it comes pretty quickly. It just starts to lock in, and this is something you can make a practice video of yourself. And then what you can do after that is I'm going to still play along with a 1, 3, and a 5, and then very gradually I'm going to attenuate the 3 until it's not playing at all. Let's see if we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Oh, I'm out of tune. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you notice the piano just anchors you. If that's hard, go back and play the other note. And the final thing, and something I'm going to ask you to do at some point, I don't know quite how, is do the whole octave, which now, instead of having 12 pitches, has 24. And do be mindful of the John Cage admonition that if the apple is rotten, why would you want to cut it in half? Which basically means 12 pitches. What do you mean 12 pitches? I want to write a piece with the traffic outside. What does that have to do with quarter tones? Having said that, since you can just sort of see it's so systematic and hearable that there's a number of people who write really nice music using strict quarter tones. There's a bunch of other people. Most of the microtonal music these days is not written with quarter tones. It's written with things that are either have to do with just intonation or Pythagorean thoughts in general. And you'll see there's some videos on that explain that very, very well, better than I can in the space of this. So let's give it a try. And you'll notice 3, 5, 7, that all the odd numbers are the notes that are actually on the piano. I hope I wrote this right. It would be crazy embarrassing. 1, 2, 2. Yeah, look at that, 23, and here's 24, and there's the repetition. And here's some things to note when you try this, because we're going to try it by playing every note, and then gradually we're going to play as few notes on the piano as possible. You will notice that you hear the fifth. You might notice, in fact, that you hear the tritone instead, but this is a great way of practicing pitch memory. It's crazy. And this is crazy difficult. And I'm going through this quite quickly here. But don't worry. Do practice it. However hard, however imprecise you are, approach the ability to do this. It's all in the approach. So it's going to be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 1. Hey, look at that. Now I'm going to try to play fewer of the notes. And you'll see, I'll start making mistakes. Oh, yes, I will. Let's try it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whoop, did you see how I was not sharp enough there? Let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 1. Hey, and I was a little bit flat here. It is extremely common when you're just starting to learn to start correctly and then you suddenly go into regular half steps. Anyway, here's one of the real things to do with this is practices up, practice it down, practice it up, practice it down. Spend at least 5 minutes on it and then do the following thing. Do this, bloop, 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 bloop. Hey, it's a normal, no music is normal, chromatic scale. And what's really cool about this, I wish I could do it with the class, is you will find tuning this is a completely different experience having done this. In other words, if you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 1, and then go down. I just use numbers. I don't care if you're going up or down. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Oh, I'm all there. 2, 2, 3. Now, instantly, I've been practicing that for 5 minutes. Go to this. La, 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 la. Oh my goodness, did you hear how sharp I was here? I mean, I was quasi-imitating other people because I would never go sharp. But I'm sure you remember from practicing interval cycles that in general, when we sing chromatic lines going down, we tend to go flat. This is hilarious. If you do the quarter tones and then leap to doing normal half steps, you'll find that it's really, really, the chromatic notes, the normal half steps are so big compared to the quarter notes that you don't believe them and you actually start going sharp. And then do a descending whole tone scale. La, 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 la. Oh, I got into it. La, la, la. Great. And then go back and forth between them. Do quarter tone, normal half steps, and normal whole tones. And it's just really cool to pay attention to what you're thinking and what you're hearing when you're doing this. When we go in between these different systems, we accept this as ordinary, then we accept this as ordinary, and then no, this is the system. It's just yet another example of how plastic our perceptions are, how changeable they are, how normalcy can be defined. Anyway, that was a crazy fast overview of this. Let's look at one other thing that's kind of cool about it. Whoops. Here, let's look at this because there's a bunch of interesting applications. Here's the quarter tone scale. And one thing to do is to practice a quarter tone scale and then play the third below that makes this a neutral third. And just a word about the neutral third. If you will accept, according to set theory, that this is symmetrical, it's pretty easy to see that the note right between the major and the minor splits the perfect fifth symmetrically in half. And the neutral third is actually used in some folk music, especially Georgian folk music. It does exist. It's out there. Having said that, there's different kinds of neutral thirds, and that just gives me a headache. But let's practice this. So in other words, I'm going to sing this, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, like this. And at some point, I'm going to stop on the 2, and I'm just going to play the note below that to see if I can hear the neutral third. And this is hard because we really want to go to this one or to this one, and being on here is like balancing a round rock on top of a hill. Whoa, it wants to roll down. And that's our perception. That's because we didn't grow up singing Georgian folk music. That's because we know minor, we know major, and like make up your mind, which one is it? So let's try. Here we go. This is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. It seemed a little sharp to me. It takes me a lot of practice to get back into this, but it's pretty cool. And then, yet another funny thing, and why don't I turn off whatever's giving me those notifications? What would that actually be like? Of course, I can't really tell what's coming up from it. Oh, there it is. Let me just kill that page. Let me try one other thing, which is really cool, which is this. A neutral sixth is a crazy auditory illusion. Let's do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. And now I'm going to keep singing, and I'm going to play the fifth below the first note. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2. Doesn't that sound like James Bond? You know, the and the funny thing about that is the real James Bond is the 5 to the flat 6 to the major sixth. But we accept quarter tones as the new normal. And so we say, oh yeah, that's James Bond, but, you know, in quarter tones. Anyway, it's a really cool, fun thing to practice because microtone music is fun. And remember, all music is microtonal. Okay, I'm going to make this a short video because practice your quarter tones. Make a video of yourself practicing quarter tones and upload them to the site and have fun.